What's up, guys? Back here again with another short video. Um, we are looking at the 5-gallon top fin Engage from PetSmart. I've had this tank, oh boy, maybe better part of 4 months, 5 months maybe. One of the smaller all glass nano tanks that PetSmart offers. I believe they're actually running a sale on these two. I think this one might be about 39 bucks, I believe. I think regular retail is about $60. Also, you're looking at, let's see, what else are you looking at? We're looking at, and I apologize for the glare, a brand new Betta. I had a Betta in this tank before. I think I've even kept some neons in here once. I've taken those out and rehomed those fish. Let's see what kind of Betta we got here. This is a crown tail Betta that I'm currently acclimating. Some people have asked, how do I acclimate fish? This is going to be, a small scale demonstration of that. He's been in here for probably 15 minutes or so. I always temperature acclimate my fish just because, I don't want to shock the fish. It's not really recommended just to essentially take the fish either out of a container like this or a bag that you might get at your local fish store and dump the water in. A couple reasons. And if you've been in the hobby for any more than a month, you probably know these, but for some of the beginners, first thing is, you can shock the fish with the, temperature change of the water. Also, you want to do some sort of acclimation, whether it's a drip acclimation or, I'll show you a cool way that I do it just by using a straw. And you essentially want the fish that you're about to introduce in your tank to get used to the water parameters that are in your tank. Some people, get fish and even quarantine them just to kind of keep an eye on them to make sure there's no bacteria or make sure there's any issues with the fish. I have done that once or twice. I had a 10-gallon tank set up and I quarantined some fish. Just to kind of keep an eye on them. Bettas, for the most part, are quarantined because you really can't keep them with too many other fish. So in the store, you're going to see them in little cups like this, and I can go on and on and on and on and on about the way bettas are treated from a lot of other fish in the hobby. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't believe any fish should be kept in a cup like this. Bettas are a great beginner fish, so anyone who's looking to get into the hobby, I've told you, a couple different ways you can get into the hobby relatively cheap because this tank is on sale, and there's all sorts of bettas like this in little cups that need a much better home. So I'm not saying you got to go to PetSmart or Petco, but if you're looking to get in the hobby, this is a great way to do it. I recommend at least probably a 2-gallon tank for a Betta. Some people will say don't go any smaller than 5. Some people have even tried 1 gallon. I think 2.5 gallons or 2 gallons is a safe bet. So everyone step up and do your part to save all the Bettas. That's my public service announcement. So let's get into how I'm going to acclimate the fish with the water that's in the tank. I use a little straw like this. Okay, there's a hole in the top of that cup. So what I will do, I'll try not to make a mess. Come back over here. I'll take a little bit of water from here and slowly, I don't know if you guys can see that, pour that into the top of the cup. I'll do that a couple times and you'll see the fish start to kind of be a little active. The temperature is the same. I'll do that. I'll try not to fill the cup up because I don't want it to sink, but I'll continue to do that. Hopefully you guys can get a good shot of that, what I'm doing. And then, I'll just, he'll get a little active, and what you're looking for is him to essentially kind of calm down and relax a little bit. Another thing that I do before I introduce any fish to my tank is, and I haven't really read it anywhere, or no one's really ever said it, but I do a water change. I do a water change, if there's a whole bunch of, debris and stuff like that at the bottom, or, the water is looking cloudy, or maybe I just need to clean out a filter. I will do a water change before I introduce fish. If there are any sort of contaminants or quality issues, I'd rather get them out of the tank to begin with. A real quick rundown on bacteria. A lot of people talk about, you don't want to kill off the bacteria in your tank, which is 100% true. But bacteria, beneficial bacteria, doesn't live in your water column. So me doing a water change to maybe take out, some small particulates and things like that doesn't remove the bacteria that's in my tank. Bacteria, believe it or not, lives on all these surfaces that we're looking at here. So the plants, this piece of driftwood, the glass, and the substrate there. So I don't really, disturb that, but just to kind of get off to a good start with introducing a new fish, I do a water change. Like I said, I don't know what the scientific benefits of that are, but from a personal level, it just makes me feel better. With all my tanks, the bigger ones, the smaller ones, I do a water change. I do probably a 25% water change, or even a 50% water change, just to help the fish get off to as best of a start as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. We're going to wait probably another 10 to 15 minutes. I may add a little more water in here, and then I'll show you how I actually get the fish into the tank, and we'll take a look at it from that point on. So hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it's been about 15 minutes. This guy, he's up acting normal, and he's used to the number one, the temperature. We temperature acclimated the fish first, and then you guys saw me use kind of a homemade drip system where I drip water from the tank into this cup so he could get used to the water parameters. So I'm going to try and do this with one hand. Hopefully I don't make a mess. I probably will. Let me grab a towel first. Whether it's a fish that comes in a bag from your local pet store, or a Betta that comes in a cup like this, what I've done essentially is I've mixed the water that was originally in here with the water that's in the tank. I've seen people just dump water in there. I'm not a fan of that because there's still water in here that I am unfamiliar with, and I don't know what kind of chemicals and issues are in that water, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the lid off the tank. I have right here a makeshift little bucket or container and a net. I will now pour, and try not to make a mess, the fish and the water into the net. So the only thing I'll be putting in the tank is the fish. And I've already made a mess and spilled some things. Here comes the fish, and there he goes. You can see him, and now with none of the dirty, contaminated water from the store, he will go into the tank. And there he goes. So he's in the tank unharmed. we can get a real good look at him now. Let me just set this over here. Hopefully I don't spill it. And you know, some of the things I look for with any of my fish is, you know, number one, if you introduce a fish and he goes straight to the bottom and kind of lays there, that could be a stress sign. A fish like this who's pretty active and he's already exploring the tank, he looks to be doing really good, so that's a positive sign. See, he's already going up to get a gulp of air, so things are looking really good for this particular fish. You know, he's exploring the tank, looking all around. He's got plenty of places to hide and check out with the plants and whatnot. So things are looking really good for this fish. You know, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. He's even coming over to the glass. Let's try and get a real good look at him. Crown tail Betta, a real pretty blue color. Any thoughts on the name, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Let's see if I can focus. There we go. But yeah, he looks to be doing really good for a fish, you know, that we've properly acclimated temperature-wise and water parameter-wise. So any questions or comments, guys, down below? This was just kind of a real quick demonstration of how I acclimate my fish. Any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to keep you updated on this, guys. Give me some suggestions for a name. Other than that, I will talk to you guys down the road. Bye.